They say love is blind, but I say love has eyes, pied. It just chooses to look away. Today, we talk about the relationships that quietly destroy us. Toxic relationships. The word sounds chemical, because it is. Like carbon monoxide, you cannot see it, you cannot smell it. It fills the room, and it steals your breath before you ever realize it is there. 1 in 3 Americans has been in a toxic relationship. That is not a statistic. That is your neighbor, your sister, maybe even you. 43 million women and 38 million men in America experience psychological aggression from a partner. Not once, not by a stranger, by someone who shared their home, their bed, their name. Psychological aggression. That phrase sounds clinical, but it means someone you loved made you feel like you were losing your mind. Every day. When you picture a toxic relationship, what do you see? Shouting? Broken dishes? A dramatic exit through a rainy door? Most toxic relationships do not look like a storm. They look like a calm sea with a strong undercurrent. Beautiful on the surface, dangerous below. The World Health Organization defines intimate partner violence as a pattern of behavior, physical, sexual, or psychological. Not one moment. A pattern. Like wallpaper. You stop seeing it after a while. It becomes the background of your life. And that is what makes it dangerous. So what exactly makes a relationship toxic? Let us be precise. Because vague definitions protect no one. First, control. Not love disguised as control. Just control. Checking your phone. Approving your friendships. Deciding what you wear. The American Psychological Association calls this coercive control. Coercive control has been a criminal offense in Scotland and England since 2015. In the United States, only a handful of states have equivalent legislation. We have not yet agreed on what we are willing to call a crime. Second, isolation. A toxic partner does not always lock the door. Sometimes they make the outside world seem so frightening that you lock it yourself. The CDC reports social isolation is one of the most consistent warning signs before severe partner violence. It is deliberately done to the person inside the relationship. Third, gaslighting, a word from a 1944 film. Look it up. Fascinating. A husband dims the gas lights, then tells his wife she is imagining things. 70 years later, the behavior has a name. But it still leaves the same damage. A 2019 study in the Journal of Family Violence found gaslighting in over 74% of abuse cases. 3 out of 4 survivors were told what they experienced did not happen. You know what gaslighting really is? It is someone editing your autobiography. Changing the facts, rewriting the scenes, until you do not recognize your own story. Fourth, emotional invalidation. You are too sensitive. You are overreacting. 4 words that have ended more spirits than any loud argument ever could. The National Alliance on Mental Illness found emotional invalidation directly linked to anxiety, depression, and PTSD. I have lived 72 years. I have seen people survive wars, poverty, illness. But I have seen healthy people slowly dismantled by the person who said, "I love you" every morning. Now, toxic relationships are not only romantic. We need to talk about that. Harvard's study of adult development CARMENT, over 80 years of data. Relationship quality predicts long-term well-being. Not just romantic ones, all of them. Source: Harvard study of adult development. 80 years of data. Good relationships keep us healthy. Bad ones kill us slowly. Not metaphorically, literally. Robert Waldinger found loneliness is as physically harmful as smoking 15 cigarettes per day. It is not about being alone, often caused by toxic or broken relationships, but about being with the wrong person and feeling alone. We put warning labels on cigarettes. We put pictures on the box. We say nothing about bad relationships. Toxic relationships are not an American problem. They are a human problem. The World Health Organization estimates 1 in 3 women globally has experienced violence from an intimate partner. Every continent, every culture, wealthy countries and poor ones alike. This is not a cultural failure. This is a human pattern we have not yet been willing to interrupt. The EU Agency for Fundamental Rights found 43% of European women reported psychological violence. The numbers align across oceans. The geography changes. The pattern does not. And men. We must speak about men. Toxic relationships target men too. And the silence around that is almost as damaging as the relationship itself. The CDC found 1 in 9 men in the United States has experienced severe physical violence from a partner. Because shame is also a weapon. And silence is what it produces. The relationship hurts you, then hands you a reason to stay silent about the hurt. That is the architecture of control. Now let us talk about why people stay. That is the question everyone asks. Everyone who has never been inside one. Trauma bonding. Attachment formed through cycles of abuse and intermittent positive reinforcement. Imagine being in a desert, and someone hands you water. Occasionally, unpredictably. You would not leave that person. You would follow them anywhere. That is trauma bonding. Not weakness. Neuroscience. A 2018 study confirmed unpredictable rewards activate the dopamine system more powerfully than consistent ones. The good moments are addictive precisely because they are so scarce. Financial abuse occurs in 99% of domestic violence cases in the United States. Controlling income, sabotaging employment, destroying credit, denying access to money. And leaving requires resources that have been deliberately taken away. So when someone asks why they did not just leave Clote, sometimes leaving costs more than staying. The parallels between toxic relationships and toxic workplaces. The psychology is nearly identical. A 2021 MIT Sloan study found the same patterns from abusive relationships appearing in toxic work environments. Toxicity is not about love gone wrong. It is about power used wrong. Wherever there is a power imbalance, the pattern appears. The setting changes. The mechanism does not. And here is where I want to shift. Not to despair, but to honesty. Because understanding the exit matters as much as understanding the trap. Research in the Journal of Interpersonal Violence shows survivors with strong social support were more likely to leave safely and more likely to rebuild. The antidote to isolation has always been connection. The most consistent factor in recovery? Not therapy alone, not distance alone. It is someone believing you, one person saying, "I believe what happened to you." That alone changes the trajectory. The American Journal of Public Health analyzed over 12,000 survivors. One supportive person made a critical difference. 2.4 times. For one person who simply believed them. We talked about control, isolation, gaslighting, financial abuse, trauma bonding, global data. Heavy things. True things. Now let me tell you what it all comes down to. A healthy relationship asks you to grow. A toxic one asks you to shrink. And the tragedy is that shrinking, when done slowly enough, can feel like safety. All these books behind me, centuries of human wisdom. And we still have not figured out how to love each other without doing tremendous damage. Maybe that is the most human thing of all. Have you ever stayed somewhere that was slowly making you smaller? What finally made you see it? Tell me. I genuinely want to know.